Mag Pro Plus from Painted Arrow Archery. That's what we're looking at today. So I've been seeing this on Facebook really a lot, and I don't know why or how it gets into the algorithm that this keeps popping up on my stuff to look at. And it's interesting. It came up on YouTube the other day, I guess. Lancaster Archery did a review on it and kind of showed how it worked and stuff. And there's some things about it I see that I think that's pretty cool, and then some things you go, I don't see how that could really work very well. So we're going to unbox it or unbag it, see what it's all about, and then we will test it out, get some video of it. Unbag it, we're going to test it out, get some video on it, compare it to the Tactacam Solo Extreme, see about the two different, how those videos compare. And we'll see what I think. Is this gear or is it a gimmick? If it's gear, it's cool. It's something I'll use throughout the year, and I'd recommend you to use throughout the year. If it's a gimmick, it's going to go in a drawer and probably won't use it again. So, get a decal. All rednecks love decals, so that's good. So what you're basically getting is a piece of metal that goes in your stabilizer. Now, I don't use a stabilizer very often. I don't want the extra weight on mine, but it will work out good today because I'll be using the stabilizer from the Solo Extreme underneath the Painted Arrow. So I'm going to be shooting like this, so you'll get both views on one of each shot, basically from the same spot. So that'll be interesting to see. We'll put the Solo Extreme in there. So we'll be shooting the same shots, and you can see them side by side. So look, something like that. So back to the Painted Arrow Mag Pro Plus. It's just a piece of metal with a notch in it. It allows you to slide it up and down on the stabilizer. It's got a magnet here, supposedly a really powerful magnet. You get this piece of metal that goes on your phone, and then when you just slap your phone on there, it sticks. That's the idea. So let me go ahead and put this on my phone. I'm going to put it on the back of my case. I don't see in here anything that is like to prep your phone. There's a washer and then a rubber piece that goes on your stabilizer. If you're wanting me to put stuff on my phone, it might be wise to send a alcohol swab or something if you really want it to stick good, but we'll make it work. I think for our testing here today, it won't be a major issue. Alright, and I'm using a iPhone 14 Pro Plus Magnum, whatever the best of the best on the 14 is. So as far as quality of the video, it shouldn't get much better than this, if any. I do have an Android I'm also going to be testing it with, but since I have that on there, it should be as simple as just taking my phone, putting it on there, and it's going to hold my phone while I shoot. And it's on there pretty steady. You know, I can make it move a little bit, but you know, it's on there. Oh, it's on there pretty good. You know, I don't know how we're using the PSC Levitate today. It's a pretty aggressive bow. It's a fast bow, so we're going to see. I know right out of the gates it didn't stick to my phone case, so that's going to be fun. Hopefully we can get that to stick a little better without having any alcohol swabs, but let's get it mounted up and see what we're looking at. So this little rubber piece here is supposed to go on the Mag Pro Plus, and then I believe the idea is that it presses down on the stabilizer and you get less vibration that way. So let's talk some initial concerns I have, or some doubts that I might have. I'm sure the quality of the video will be really good because your iPhone has really good quality. So I don't think that'll be a real issue that people are going to have. I think the problem's going to be is I'm on my phone, Facebooking or whatever, here's a deer, get in video mode, and then I have to do this. Slap that on there. That makes a little bit of noise, and I'm worried that that noise could cost you a deer. When you're talking about going from, oh deer, to slapping that on there and getting it in the same spot every time, obviously I think you're more stable if it's pushed down against this bottom bar here versus kind of floating up here on the magnet itself. So you want to make sure, if you're going to use this, push it on and slide it down against the bottom of this Mag Pro, if that makes sense. The noise would bother me a little bit, and then again, it come off of my case again. So this is a rubber case. I don't know if these little rubbery cases are different, but you're going to get some noise on that if you're not careful. And I can't even get it to stick to my phone very good. That's number one. I guess I could take the case off, but then if it does fall, it's going to break my phone. But once it's on there, it does hold on there pretty good. I mean, I could shake it enough. I got it to move earlier, but it doesn't seem to vibrate like I thought it would. So that's one major issue. I think the noise of these magnets and this metal slapping are going to be a problem. I think. The other thing, again, is it not sticking on your phone case very good. That could be an issue. The other problem I have is I'm going to have to, here comes deer, get on my phone, pull up my camera, put it in video mode. Make sure the zoom's right in video mode. Make sure the settings are right in my video mode, that I want it in HD or 4K. Then I'm going to turn it. I'm going to slap it on there. That's going to be tough to do in a lot of cases. Especially when we're talking about, again, comparing it to a Tactacam, where all I got to do is reach in here and press this button, and it comes on and starts recording, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. It's going to be harder to push that button in here because this Mag Pro mount thing is right in here with where you need to push the button, but the same concept's the same. I reach in, I push this button, and it comes on and starts recording. Alright, so this is the other issue. If you are a wireless charger, this is a wireless Samsung charger here that I've got plugged in. If you have this metal piece on the back, it's not going to charge. It won't charge your phone, but that metal piece on the back. I don't know if there's a secret to making it work, but I got no charge. I got no juice here. I'm having trouble with the Mag Pro thing on the back with it charging. It does charge fine normally. So this is an Android phone here, and the light's on down there, indicating that it is charging, and eventually that'll come on and show you that it's charging. All right, so that's enough talking. Let's shoot this thing, see what kind of quality video we get. All right, so we're starting off with just some basic 20-yard shots. Since we're kind of comparing it to the Solo Extreme and an iPhone or whatever you've got, the Solo Extreme does not film in 4K. It films in like 2K technically, HD of some sort. I'm gonna leave my iPhone in HD, whatever, as well, so they'll be similar in comparison. Then we'll bump my iPhone up to like 4K and see if we can tell a difference in the two. So anyway, 20 yards, we're gonna shoot a bunch, and we'll see what happens. Alright, so we're going to get in a tree now. I've got the saddle out. I've got one stick. We're going to go up, just kind of shoot from a tree to get it a little more realistic, like what it would be like to be hunting with this. And then we'll talk about the pros and cons. Alright, so we're in a tree. We're in our saddle. This is where I'm afraid the camera, what is it? This is where the painted arrow camera arm, I'm afraid, might struggle, because the video of your phone, yes, is pretty good. The technology of your camera on your phone, which is $1,000, $1,500 phone, it should be good. The functionality of the idea of using a magnet to hold it onto your bow and going through all this is where I see a problem potentially in a hunting scenario, a real life hunting scenario. So I've got my bow over here on the side of the tree, like I would normally have it, waiting on a deer to come in. with my Tactacam, okay, here comes a deer. Grab this, push that button one time, it comes on, it turns my camera on. I don't have to do anything else. It's ready to shoot within a matter of seconds. Deer's coming in, so switching to the painted arrow camera arm. Deer's coming in. Holy crap, I gotta dig in my pocket, get my phone out, unlock my phone, put it on video mode, rotate it over, slap it on that, and hopefully the deer doesn't see any of that movement or hear that sound in that process. I think that's going to be tricky. I think that whole process of that is going to be tough. Oh, and you got to remember to hit record, because like I just put it on here, I didn't actually hit record. I just got it on camera mode. So you got to actually hit the record button now. Let's see what this deer comes in at. All right. So right now I've got, I'm hunting. Say I've got an extra phone that I got laying around, and I'm just going to leave it on the bow itself, on the painted arrow arm, whatever it is. If I'm just leaving that on there, okay, here's the deer. It's on, but it's in screensaver mode. So I got to tap that, slide up. It's looking for Face ID. Hurry up, no Face ID. Enter my code. If I can enter it correctly. Enter my code. Now, once it gets into that, I've entered my code, it's on my screen, I can hit camera, go to video, make sure it's in one. That's a lot of time wasted when you're trying to also, then you got to range the deer, get knocked, get your shot. You could, let's say you did this, you could have this shortcut where you push and swipe up, or you push and hold and it goes straight to video mode. That's better. But you're still, you got to make sure it gets in video mode, and you got to make sure and hit record. So you're talking about a couple extra steps, and that is if you already had it on your bow, waiting on you. I don't know if that's super realistic from this standpoint, but we'll see. Let's shoot a little bit more. So another thing that I'm not sure of with this is, so if I'm in here on my tree, setting up, how much bumping can this take before it is falling off my case, or falling off this painted arrow arm and hitting the ground, falling down on the ground? I don't know, but I'm thinking like with a saddle, I hang my camera, I hang my bow on the tree, like it rubs the tree. So when it's on there, how much of this leaning on the tree is it going to take before it falls off? Yeah, I don't know. It's doesn't take much of a bump and a hit, and it is moving it. So I would assume falling off wouldn't take much. Move it. All right, so kind of to wrap this up, one other thing that I hadn't talked about that I think you're gonna, that's gonna be a knock on this painted arrow is, deer move the most at gray light. That first light, last light, that's when they're doing most of their movement. You're going to have a giant screen of light reflecting back at you in that process. I would assume it might hurt your actual shooting, having that light shining back at you when you're trying to look through your peep. I think the deer might be spooked off by it as well. You're not able to charge your phone. It's cumbersome to get it into video hit record, you know, get your phone unlocked. If your phone's in your pocket, it's even more cumbersome. If you're on your phone, it's tricky. You got to be super soft snapping that thing on there, that magnet, when it snaps it on there. I don't know how you can hear it on the camera if it's picking it up, but it's a pretty aggressive little smack when that magnet snaps on. Meaning it's a good magnet. The magnet's strong. The metal plate seems good. What I don't know is really good is the glue that's holding your the metal plate to your phone. If that glue comes off, like it has on me a couple times already, you know, if this piece right here comes off your case, if that little adhesive behind it actually is holding better on this case than it was my other one. If that comes off, your phone's falling out of the tree or wherever you're at. So that worries me a little bit. Again, it holds better on this than it does my iPhone for some reason. You know, the quality of it is pretty good video quality. I mean, you're talking about, you know, expensive phones that have good built-in image stabilization. They shoot in 4K. The item itself's relatively cheap, 50 bucks, and I mean, you're able to start filming your hunts right away. The reality of it, though, I don't think is there yet. I don't think it's as functional as it should be. You're going to have decent quality. It's a good toy for going out and shooting and practicing, but the idea of how I get, how I make all that happen when a deer's coming in, that's going to be a little tougher, I think. I think if you're shooting a doe on a feeder and you know it's going to be a doe fest, and you know you might be able to get away with that. Although mature does get a little skittish. You start moving around up there a bunch, and the movement of dig phone out of pocket, unlock screen, put on record, hit video, then hit record, and then snap it onto this thing. I think that's too much movement and too much sound. I think you're going to spook deer. Your deer are going to bust you, and you're going to miss kills because of that. It's hard to argue that this right here, just going boop, hitting that button, and then you're ready to go shoot. Or having it in your pocket, reaching in your pocket, hitting record, or reaching up here on your camera when you grab your bow and hitting the record button. It's much less movement and much less sound than, you know, all the digging in your pocket, unlocking, and then snapping it onto that metal magnet up there. So functionality of it, I don't think is very good. The idea of it is great because it's cheap. It's a cheap way to get into filming. If you're trying to start this on a budget, maybe it's a good way to get started. At least get into it. By all means, get into it. You know, and maybe you start upgrading as you go, because it is fun to film your hunts and film your kills and send them out to your buddies. I don't know that that's the way to do it for killing big deer, mature deer, or, you know, consistently killing deer. All right, so one last wrap up on this Mag Pro Plus. It's a neat little toy, but I think it's a gimmick. I don't think it's gear. I think it's more of a gadget. It's not feasible when you're trying to make that kill in the heat of the moment, to do all that stuff and get all that going. The glare from your phone worries me too. You're going to see that. Are they going to bust you when that phone's glaring back at you? Are they going to bust you when you're digging in here and you're trying to get it unlocked? It's not worth the risk, if you ask me. Plus, again, for another $100, you can get a Solo Extreme that does fantastic on your bow, and you can also put it on a shotgun. You can put it in your scope mount. You can mount it on your deer rifle. It's much more versatile as opposed to the painted arrow arm that is strictly going to be for your bow, and doesn't function as good as you're hoping it will. It'll function. It'll record. The video is going to look good because your iPhones look good. Your expensive iPhone makes good video, but the functionality of it in reality, it's not going to work like you hope it will. Not being able to wirelessly charge your phone is going to be an issue for some people too. I always wirelessly charge my phone at night, so I think I'm going to give it a pass, call it a gadget, and keep rolling when I've been rolling. If you like this, subscribe, give it a thumbs up. Thank you.